Thank you, Lina, for the kind introduction. And thank you, Professor Strip, for giving me this opportunity to speak at this conference. Well, I'm going to just jump in with some of the stats that we already know. 1 in 10 has LD. These are the general stats that people talk about. We, as professionals, understand that learning disability and ADHD has comorbidity or co-occurrences. But if you look from the social point of view, cost of being a struggling reader because of many conditions, not able to read because of learning difficulty, lack of confidence, self-worth, poor performance at schools, behavioral issues, low-paying jobs, all the full spectrum from educational to the reaching into the mental health stages because of anxiety, depression, addiction, incarceration, suicide, social stigma because of someone not able to diagnose learning difficulty or ADHD at perfect time. Orange Neurosciences is a next generation machine learning and AI technology company. We are developing digital diagnostics and digital medicine for psychiatry and neurological conditions. Whole will definitely invested full on for our intellectual property, so well-protected IP around the world, including UAE and Saudi Arabia, India, because these are the places where we already have presence. So very quickly, I wanted to give you a high level of what Orange Neurosciences is doing. The first product for learning disability and dyslexia by Orange Neurosciences is already available in 8 countries. Thousands of people have used it. Over 400 centers or franchises are using this program. But what was important was for us, which you will see in next few minutes, was understanding of how reading fluency and comprehension is impacted by working memory and executive function, which understanding gave us a chance to develop first non-pharmacological therapy for ADHD that is going to work in this one. So LD, ADHD, autism, those were the 3 conditions where we are working right now. We're also working on a diagnostic app. We just finished our trials on one of the largest study in India with over 10,000 kids, where we are trying to train the algorithm in 12 minutes using an app. You can screen for someone with learning difficulty and ADHD. So here, DGAIM, our product for digital diagnostics for improving attention improvement. Quick science for everyone to go for a refresher quickly. We all know that working memory is playing key role in so many of pathways, attention being the key, which is where we want to go for. I won't overwhelm you with what can overload working memory, but as you already know, there are so many things which will include visual pathways, auditory pathways, lexical pathway, because all of them are interconnected in our cognitive things. The key point I wanted to drive today through this conference was the scientific premise, which is the base for our proprietary technologies. Using stimulation of auditory processing pathway and the visual processing pathway, we are able to increase working memory and executive function by creating new neuronal connections. And this is what I want to present. By changing that, the first of the output we were measured was reading fluency and comprehension. Because we were able to improve working memory and executive function along with attention, we were able to see those readouts, which were complete research data. I will show to you in next few minutes some of the data from our early data from LDADHD. But more importantly, today was my chance to impress upon one of the largest clinical trial that we are doing in India at a multi-center randomized controlled trial. So how does DGM work? It's a gamified platform. Let's see if I have a small video working here. It's a gamified platform that uses artificial intelligence and machine learning. More importantly, neuroplasticity has been used to improve the attention. Most importantly, using the psychological theory of engagement, we are able to improve the engagement. With process-oriented multisensory approach, every gameplay has been designed to simultaneously work on auditory processing and visual processing so that we stimulate and create new neuronal connections. I won't go into this detail, but this is one of the module to show how the program would actually be working on in the real life. Everything that you are seeing on the screen, someone is doing an exercise, and each process is using a predictive analytics from each session the opacity, the movement, the control, everything is getting changed on this gamified platform. So almost like a precision medicine for attention improvement. Quickly, some of the research data from our clinical trials, we used a psychological battery for Woodcock reading mastery test and gray oral reading test for improvement, looking into the reading fluency and comprehension. We measured the visual processing deficit because one of the key parameter was to show that we were able to change oculomotor muscle exercise to improve the visual perceptions. Very quickly, some of the data that you are seeing from the baseline, improvement in month from the Woodcock reading mastery test data. This is to show that changes into the reading fluency. So this is word identification, word attack, word comprehension, and passage comprehension. These ones are using the gray oral reading test, where again, students who have gone through our cognitive therapy platform for 15 one-hour sessions, we were able to measure their rate, accuracy, fluency, and comprehension changes. This one, I apologize for the poor data, but this is, we are putting together a case study that was done by a Dr. Anne at Bahrain, one of the psychiatrists, on a case study on a child with a dual diagnosis with ADHD and autism. And using the Cohen-Mansfield agitation inventory test, we were able to show reduction in most of the behavioral outcome. This is a part of the publication that is coming up. But this also became part of our clinical trial, which is the open label parallel group multicentric randomized study to evaluate the efficacy of DGM in improving the attention. And we are doing it with methylphenidate as one of the arm and the therapy with clinic. So rationale is that we can improve attention function through digital interface. And the hypothesis is that it improves the attention along with the stimulant itself. So I won't go in detail. I would love to speak with you, come back and explain how this thing is working and if we can work together. But very quickly, goal is to increase efficacy, measure the efficacy of DGM in children with ADHD, and also to show the safety. Some of the leading psychiatrists in India have led this trial. So Dr. Shah is a psychiatrist at LTM Medical College in Mumbai, Henal Shah. So this is a multicentric, multi-city trial with N is equal to 70 in each arm, 210 patients, 6-month study with the goal of controlling with and without methylphenidate and the trial alone itself. So it's a randomized trial with 3 different groups. The one with the treatment and the session would be doing the 30 sessions, and then they would be measured on change in IRS or ADHD scale, as well as the Vanderbilt scale. And obviously the safety and tolerability will be measured. I want to stop here by just, it was a rapid test type of thing, but what we are trying to show and impress upon today with this audience is there is a new future we can use. And as I'm sitting here and listening to all other presenters, future for mental health using the technology is so bright, and we want to contribute by providing an tool for people of determination, where something that we could present is changing the standard of care to individual need-based protocol, something that is very affordable and scalable, and obviously addresses the root cause of the core challenges. Obviously, I would love to speak with anyone who would like to do a clinical collaboration in UAE as in Canada. I see there's a lot of my colleagues are there in the conference. Please do reach out, and I would love to speak again with everyone. Thank you so much. And here are the credentials to reach out with me.